going to go ahead and I'm going to keep going with this, and I'm not quite sure why this does this sometime, because I wasn't over the time period at all. Okay, so I was talking to you about this, the Lorac To Go Pro, and this is just a palette that you can use for, you know, traveling, obviously, because it is a to-go palette, obviously. And it's small. I'll hold it next to my face so that you can kind of see the size of it. And what's inside is eye palette, and then, hold on, a face palette. In the face palette, you have a coral and a pink blusher, and then you have a bronzer. So that's perfect for doing your face. And no kidding, the fact that you have both a coral and a peach is good, because there's not a whole lot of looks that you can do where either one or the other of those isn't going to work for you. So, and then also the brown. Now let me talk to you about the brown. The brown does look a little muddy. You can probably tell that. Matter of fact, I'm going to do something. There's all three of the colors. And so you can see this brown is a little bit muddy. That's the only thing. So let's just say I could use my finger with this. You can see pretty quickly, and I'm kind of doing this very evenly, that it's kind of a muddy background. I'm going to put this kind of coral color in the middle, and you can see right off the bat it's highly pigmented. And then I'm going to put this pink in the front. It's almost so that it looks like it's a bit of a sunburn. Now look at this. Now I'm going to, again, using my fingers, I'm not even using a brush. Look how pigmented that is. I mean, it looks like I've got a combination of a sunburn and mud on my face. That's the only thing about it. You must apply this lightly. Now again, I used my fingers, but if I keep blending this, it changes from an overdone look of mud and pink to a really nice, healthy, I'll try to get a little closer, blend. That's a nice look, you guys. Look at the difference in my cheeks. So I would say that this actually is good, but you have to work really hard at blending it out, okay? So that's number one. Number two, this is a fantastic eye palette. The first two colors here, Pearl and Shell, I started off the last video on this, are highlighters. The top, Pearl, has got a little bit more of a shimmer to it, whereas Shell is more of a matte, and that's the difference. This is Shell, this is Pearl, and this is what they look like. And they really are awesome. And then you go over to the next two colors, Chai and Cafe. And obviously Chai is more of a bronze color and Cafe is more of a neutral brown. So when you look at all four of these colors, they're really perfect for just an everyday look. So if you took these to go just for a natural everyday look, you could apply these very lightly. And for an evening wear, you could apply them a little heavier, maybe more than one layer, and maybe adding in these colors on the end, which is mink, is the brown, the dark brown shimmer with some gold speckles, and then black, and it's just a basic, it's kind of a matte black, but it does have a little bit of shimmer to it. So I wouldn't call it totally matte black. But no kidding, this is one of the best eye palettes I've ever used. And I thought, you know, I don't give this enough love, I don't acclaim it enough on YouTube, so I decided to come back to it. And well, here's a great example. Since I got all this all over my fingers, we can just use it. Remember I told you guys, if you don't have brushes, you can learn to use different fingers for different things. And like, well, I haven't actually got the colors in the right place for those things. Actually, it's right the opposite. But let's just say I wanted to use a matte highlighter. I'm going to put that right under the front of the brow, and I know that that doesn't look good right now. And then I'm going to use a, I'm sorry, did I do that backwards? I did. The shimmer underneath the highbrow. And what I'm going to do now that I've got those on is blend them out, because obviously it's way too much. And I know that. And so now I'm going to use what would be a blender brush, but say you don't have one. Go ahead and apply it with your fingers and then use 2 clean fingers to blend it out. Then the same thing with the browns. So now I'm going to use the brown as my kind of neutral transition color. So I'm coming up to the brow from the crease and kind of on the inside of the brow here. And I've got that, but now I've got this beautiful bronzer color. Use that in the outer portion of the crease all the way down to the lid. And maybe even start from the outside and move inward. And if you want to blend that out, then go ahead and use where you had that matte color and just blend that out. And look how nice that looks. I kind of look like a cyclops. It looks so nice. And let's just say I wanted to really do it up. I'm going to go ahead and bring that bronzer underneath my eye, just to really kind of dress up the look of the eye. And then of course, now see, I got some on my nose, so obviously there's things that you would need to do to blend it out. And you can use your fingers. Again, you don't have to have the wind, a brush. You can use your fingers. The only thing is, afterwards, you have quite a mess on your hands. Get it? A mess on your hands. And I always use the back fatty part of my hand to kind of blend up on the outside, because you want to make sure this right on the outside is very well blended right there. Okay? And that really looks lovely, you guys. I'm loving this. And that's why I decided I wanted to bring this one up again, because I think that this To Go Pro, or Pro To Go, I'm not sure which way they pronounce it or order it. Let's see. Pro To Go. It's on the back in a sentence format, so it's Pro To Go. Lorac Pro To Go is one of the best palettes as far as for travel, but also just for every day. And this would be a good one to keep in your purse, because it's pretty stable as far as a palette. It's, you know, that magnetized and whatever else they do to the cardboard to make it a little sturdier and to make it kind of chic and pretty looking. It could definitely hold up in a pocketbook. Who says pocketbook anymore? Most people say purse or handbag. I'm going to say pocketbook. Pocketbook! So anyway, I would definitely say this is one of my favorites, y'all. I'm just really enjoying it, because let's just say you didn't want to give this kind of a look. You could do an everyday look out of these 3 colors every single day. You could just use the shell and the cafe. The shell as the highlight in inner corner, and the lid if you wanted, and in the crease just the cafe. And if you really wanted to kind of add some depth, you could always use the black to run along the lash lines and the outer V. So to dress it up at night, all you do is add these shimmers where you change your highlight to be more luminescent with pearl. You change your neutralizing color to go from being cafe to being chai, and you change your black to have a little bit of a bronze feel to it by using that beautiful mink color right there. So anyway, I just wanted to talk to y'all about this, because I've noticed on the Too Faced, I just said Too Faced. I think I got Too Faced on the brain. But anyway, on the Ulta.com, the Lorac Pro is still in there. And I would imagine it is probably, I haven't checked Sephora or Lorac's website. I know they're like going to kill me because I said Too Faced. It's a good thing I'm not a famous person, because they might even sue me and throw me in jail for that. That would be bad. So anyway, I just want to let you know that I know Ulta still has this, and depending on where you live, you might want to see if it is on sale, and look at how it looks like my eyes are beautiful, because I'm covering up my nose, which is huge, and not so beautiful. It's okay. It's who I am. It's my grandmother's, which gave it to my dad. And then when she got old, you know how your bones recede? Her nose just like hung off the end. I was like, is that what I'm going to look like? I'm noticing now my dad has that. So I guess I will. This right here will be hanging off like that. So just get used to me looking like this. Look. That's what I'm going to look like. Like this. That's me. I'm glad that you're going to grow old with me. Or maybe I'll have a nose tuck. I don't know. Can you do a nose tuck? That looks so cute. I love when women talk like that and they have this little, their little Cupid's bow comes up some and you can see their front teeth. I think it's so cute. What's her name? Nicole Kidman. She has this kind of look when she talks, and I think it looks so excellent. And so is Miss Piggy. So anyway, I've lost my glasses and I have stuff all over on my fingers. I'm thinking I'm going to do this right here. And maybe a little of this. And then maybe a little of that and that. And I'm just going to use up what's all over my fingers. Is that what I'm going to do? I just want to tell y'all about palettes that I have already. I did not recently buy. And I want to encourage you to do the same thing. If you have any old palettes, pull them out. You can decide whether or not they are worthy to still use, or if it's like, that's kind of gross. I need to, start over with some new makeup. I would definitely, if you can use it, do use it, because you paid money for it, and obviously at some point in your life you thought that it was going to be a beautiful palette, and then you got another palette, or whatever reason you stopped looking at that. Sometimes it's good just to go back to those palettes and use them again. So I encourage you, if you have that one, or any drugstore ones, or just any palettes that you have, let's go back and use what we have. And this is one that I just decided I was going to go back and take a look at and say, you know what, I have this, I'm going to start using it more again, because I really actually love the colors. Not only the kind of daytime look, but even switching the nighttime look up and wearing it during the daytime, because that's just who I am, and I can do what I want. Nobody's going to stop me. Well, I don't want to be too rebellious, but you know what I'm saying, it's makeup after all, so, Okay, so I hope you guys have enjoyed this. And if you have any questions about this palette or any other palettes that you've seen me bring up, I am going to keep bringing up. I just recently brought up the 2 Coastal Scent ones. That's another one that I already had, and I told you guys if I were you, I would definitely check those 2 out. They're very inexpensive. This wasn't that bad. It wasn't cheap, but it wasn't that bad as some of the, the larger palettes, which is so funny because that's really all the colors you need. The others are just for fun, to experiment. So anyway, I will see you again soon.